What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Let It Be Known. I'm Darren Randall, and we back here with Lamar. NFL free agency just started. A whole bunch of breaking news. We seen guys like Jimmy Garoppolo. We seen guys like Calais Campbell getting cut. A whole bunch of things around the NFL has just happened. And my dumb ass, my sick ass, I got fucking COVID right now, so we're gonna make this a little bit short. Hopefully, I don't pass this bitch through the mic. So if you wake up with COVID tomorrow, just know it wasn't for me. It was for one of those dirty ass people you was around. I'm not dirty. It just maybe somebody dirty gave it to me, or possibly it was somebody clean that just, they coughed and they didn't know and they fucked me over. But either way, I'm gonna have to see them. So I feel like if you get somebody COVID, you deserve to have your ones with them, bro. You deserve to at least have one type of fight with them, just because like you took me out for like a whole week, man. I'm over here struggling to talk on the pod. I've been sleeping all day. I took enough medicine just so I could come over here and speak to y'all, bro. So whoever gave me this shit, like, we got a little beef, but we're gonna work it out.
Man,
Lamar, how
we
you
feel for
doing,
your
bro?
we feel for your pain, Darren. No, I'm doing good, man. I just had got a cool little day. Didn't have work today, so I'm feeling good, ready to talk some sports. Hella excited. You feel me? It's always a good day to talk sports.
Man, it's been a whole bunch of breaking news today. I wasn't expecting a couple of the moves that did happen today, like the Niners. I wasn't expecting them to do shit today. I know they had a lot of cap space. I know they had a lot of money, but I knew you got to pay like guys like Nick Bosa, so they were on the move. I wasn't expecting guys like Kelsey to come back. There was a lot of things that I wasn't expecting, but let's dive straight into it. So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna go by each division first. Or each conference, each division. So first you had the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills, I don't think they ended up really signing anybody, I guess so, but they had the offensive guard, they agreed on a 3-year, $23 million contract. I guess it wasn't really no news with the Bills, to be honest. I was expecting them to be a
Nah,
little.
I mean, for me, just real quick, I feel like this was key for the Bills. They signed Conor McGovern. He was definitely one of the more veteran offensive guards in the league. Obviously, we've seen them struggle with the pass rush in the playoffs. So this is definitely something to shore up. And then Matt Milano, I ain't gonna lie, he's a very underrated linebacker in this league. Bills fans or even AFC East,
But he's
Patriots
been with them,
fans or
right?
even Dolphins fans. Yeah, he's been with them, so they resigned him to a 2-year extension. But there's the reason why, because he played lights out last season. I feel like shit, if he was able to go to any other team, he would have played really good too. So he's definitely one of those good players.
And going on to the Miami Dolphins, I feel like this was a substantial, great move. They ended up getting Mike White on a 2-year deal. I feel like that was a great move just because we're just talking about it. We never know if Tua is going to be able to continue to play. We don't know how his history is going to look. We don't know how his future is going to look. So I like that deal, didn't you, Mike White?
Hell yeah, I like that deal. That's a great deal. It's so funny because Mike White stays in the division. He probably did that on purpose. He probably wants to, maybe if he does get an opportunity later on down the line with the Dolphins, he can go back and play the Jets 2 times a year and really, really be a pain in their ass. But I don't know, man. Hopefully Tua proves us wrong. Obviously we see Tua, we see flashes of greatness in his game. He's a great passer. Obviously he can maybe he's a little shifty. He can run the ball a little bit, but he shows what he can do. He's just injury prone. He showed that in college. He was coming off an injury in college. That was the big question mark. He had a rib injury plus an ankle, and now he has concussion issues. He never really had concussion issues in college, which is pretty crazy. So I think he can overcome this concussion thing. But obviously the signing of Mike White just shores up that backup quarterback spot. Like I spoke in the past in the pod, and I feel like a lot of teams are going to start doing this now this offseason. They're going to start signing really good backup quarterbacks. So
Yeah, it's a
Mike White is
must.
definitely, yeah, it's a must. It's a must, especially when you got a team that's ready to win a Super Bowl. You don't want just, obviously your quarterback is your star, he's your leader. But when he goes down, sometimes you go get injured. That's inevitable. You can't control it. So therefore you got to have a backup quarterback, especially when you got a great team such as like the Niners, the Dolphins, the Eagles. Teams that's ready to compete. The Bills, even with Josh Allen go down, you want to have like a Case Keenum come in as the veteran. You feel me?
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like Mike White was probably one of the best backup quarterbacks in the market right now. I feel like you would have probably like Jimmy Garoppolo. He ended up starting, but when it comes to Mike White, I feel like he was probably a top 3 backup quarterback available. So that was great
Most
pickup
definitely.
by them. And then they also ended up
Most
signing
definitely.
David Long to a 2-year, $11 million deal.
Yeah. That was a great pickup. David Long has been very consistent linebacker on Tennessee Titans, so he's going to be putting in work with Dolphins.
Yeah, in
And that was a
Tennessee, they're pretty
need. That
much
was a
letting them.
scheme. That was Tennessee rebuilding, man. That was pretty much a scheme fit for the Dolphins, though. David Long, yeah, Tennessee Titans, yeah, they giving everybody up.
And then we already know they signed Jalen Ramsey the other day. That was a great pickup. I thought they would have probably went
Huge.
after. I would have rather seen them go after a guy like Derrick Henry instead of Jalen Ramsey though, just so you could take some of the weight off of Tua's shoulders. Just allow the run game to run, allow the running backs to run because they already had Wilson, they had I think Breida, but I feel like you would have had a great. I would have felt like throwing in Derrick Henry would have been a great fit just so he could take the load off of him, take the load off of Tua.
Yeah, I think they got a plan for Wilson though. I think they want him to start. I think Wilson and if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Wilson is still there. But I think Wilson gonna start. I think they just have that type of chemistry. Him and Mike McDaniels. But shit, you never know. They might draft a running back. But I feel like this is a great signing. This is great. Jalen Ramsey actually wanted to be there. Supposedly he like prayed to be in Miami. Who don't want to be in Miami, especially a guy like Jalen Ramsey. A high profile player. So yeah, this was a great signing for them. They got Xavier Howard on the other side. It shows up their defense, and a lot of people ain't talking about their safeties. Javon Holland. Javon Holland is one of the best safeties in all of the NFL. So this is great. It's great secondary looking like right now.
So are we still considering Jalen Ramsey the best corner in the league?
I'm not gonna say the best corner, but he's definitely. Me personally, I would put Jalen Ramsey in my top 5, maybe even top 3. But I would put him in my top 5. Me personally, and I don't feel like that's crazy for me to say.
No, it shouldn't be. But like I said, that's why I was asking you if he was number 1. So it's crazy that he's out of your top 3 to me. That he's no longer in your top 3. Now he's in your top 5. And then
Saucy, my boy Saucy. My boy Saucy just went crazy this year. You know
as a rookie, you putting a rookie over him already.
As a rookie, he went all pro. The number speaks volumes. He didn't win. Hey, he didn't win on Super Bowl, but his name still rings.
All right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough, though. I'm a big Sauce Gardner fan, so I'm all with it. I'm a big ass Sauce Gardner fan. Hopefully, he's gonna be a future Niner one day.
Shout out Detroit, man. Shout out Saucy. Yes, sir.
So New England Patriots, they didn't do much today. It looks like they just re-signed they re-signed their offensive guard, they re-signed their linebacker, and then they also re-signed their cornerback.
Mm-hmm. So that was actually huge though. Jonathan Jones, he's definitely one of the best nickel backs in the NFL. He can play on the outside as well, but he's super fast. So this was good for them. Sure, keep that defense rolling.
It seems like a Patriots day. Just straight resigning. Not no major news, not no big trades, not no big signings. Seems pretty Patriots.
Yeah, almost definitely. Yeah.
And then this was a great move by the New York Jets to me. They ended up signing Quincy Williams on a 3-year, $18 million deal, $21 million and with incentives. So I feel like that was a great deal. I'm a big fan of Quincy Williams. Him and his brother. His brother's probably getting paid next, and they're probably the top 2 tandem in the league. Both of these guys are going to just be Pro Bowl. Both of them are going to be Pro Bowlers for years to come. So I'm pretty excited. It's pretty rare where you find 2 brothers are on the same team and both compete so hard, 2 of the best in the league. So at their position, so it's I feel like that was a great signing.
Most definitely took the words out of you said it. Quinnen Williams, he, like you said, he's got to get paid next. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like one of the highest paid defensive tackles in all of the NFL. It's crazy because they was like, I think like a year ago they was talking about maybe moving him, but good thing they kept him because now he's like a staple in their defense. If you had a great D tackle, especially a young one, that's somebody you can definitely build around. So now you have a guy, on the first level, the D line, and you have linebackers, Quincy, you got Quincy Williams, then you got Saucy, you got Saucy Gardner, you feel me? So, let's make it happen. My bad, segue. My bad, go ahead. Chuck Clark.
We also see the Chuck Clark. That was a trade acquired in a trade with the Baltimore Ravens in exchange for a 2024 7th round pick. What was your take on that, Chuck Clark?
That was a great pickup. A lot of great pickups, especially the Jets. They actually thinking with their fucking brains this offseason. No, for real, bro. It's like, obviously I ain't a Jets fan, but it sucks to see the Jets fucking lose year after year after year after year after year. It's like, God damn, can we get some new teams in the playoffs? But yeah, but especially and look bad on Robert Saleh. We know he's a great coach, but it's like, damn, he don't got the pieces. These teams, the higher up the GMs ain't really making these moves. But yeah. Chuck Clark is a great move. Like I said, they got Sauce Gardner on the outside. They got Chuck Clark, put him in the safety spot. He's gonna start right away. He's a veteran. Played with the Ravens defense. He did really, really well. So yeah, great signing.
And
Oh,
going
Greg
on,
Zerloin, great pickup. Greg the Leg. That's his nickname. He played for the Rams. He played for the LA Rams. Hell of a year. Shout out LA. You feel me, the city. But yeah, Greg the Leg. He had a boot. He probably got one. He still got. He's a little older now, but he still probably got one of the stronger legs in the NFL.
so let's go. Let's go on to the AFC North. You had Lamar Jackson, of course. He already got that franchise tag. That was about a week ago. No real news with
About
Lamar
a week
Jackson.
ago.
Yeah, we're gonna see what goes with that Lamar Jackson. I don't know if anything's gonna happen over there. I don't know if they're gonna trade him or they're gonna pay him. It's looking like he's not gonna play under that franchise tag. So we're gonna see how that plays out. And then the Cincinnati.
Man, I got a beef with the Ravens, man. The Ravens is full of shit. They ain't make no moves. They ain't make no moves except do some bullshit and franchise tag Lamar Jackson. Like they could have literally did what the Panthers did. Like, come on now. They could have made a trade with the Panthers. Like, what are y'all doing?
Would you holding that against the Ravens? Or are you holding that against? Well, I guess that's the only people you can really hold that against. It's probably just the front office. I don't know if John Harbaugh has anything to do with that. Could he force the move? Could he be like, you guys just got to trade him, or you just got to pay him? Or does he have
why not? Why not? Like, why are these like this? You can't go into the draft. You can't go into free agency not knowing who your quarterback is. And watch what I tell you. Mark my words. We're looking at it now, but in this next, I'm telling you, the teams that's going to make the playoffs are teams that's actually already making moves. Teams that already has their quarterback set. They're starting to build. So far as like maybe even the Raiders, they got their quarterback. The Niners, they have their quarterbacks. You feel me? They just signed QB3. You feel me? They building now. They building blocks. Why are you going into the fucking offseason with no quarterback? This is the most important position on the team, but Ravens is full of shit.
That's the number one responsibility. That's why, like you said, they're always paid the highest. Every quarterback's getting around 45 to 50 mil this year. So with the Cincinnati Bengals, they end up getting or re-signing Jermaine Pratt on a 3-year, $21 million deal. He receives $10.35 million in 1 year and then $15.5 over the next 2 years. So that's probably. So it looks like they gave them probably themselves some leverage just to get out of that contract, just like I was talking about Derek Carr's situation earlier. But are you a fan of that?
That's solid. Jermaine Pratt, solid linebacker for them. Obviously they really like him. Especially they're gonna sign him to a 3-year deal. So yeah, I like it.
And then you see him. So next with the Cleveland Browns, they end up re-signing their center, Ethan. It's Pocic, right?
Yeah, something like that. Posick.
It's Pocic. Yeah, we signed him on a 3-year, $18 million deal. They also re-signed their edge or signing an edge. Obo Oak. How the fuck you say that name, bro?
Obo
Okonoko.
Okoronkwo. Yeah.
Obo
Okoronkwo.
Obo Okoronkwo. Why is this not talking about in the NFL more? I feel like Giannis Antetokounmpo. I feel like
because he's probably not that big of a star. If he was like a 20-sack master a season, then hell yeah.
Hell yeah, that's what it is. Cause I'm like, man, I've never even heard of it, bro. Obo.
Because bro, if Giannis was shitty and if he was like obviously like averaging like 5 points a game, bench player, we wouldn't really know how to pronounce his name like that.
Right.
More people would.
Brothers, but not that this is brothers, but if you didn't know Giannis, you probably wouldn't be able to say his brother's names. Just be like, fuck it. I'm just gonna call him Thanos. I'm not even about to try to say the last name. This was a great move. I felt like with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers ended up signing Patrick Peterson. Now you got TJ Watt on that. Their defense was already ridiculous. So now you just adding an all-pro cornerback. How'd you feel about this move?
Great move. Steelers, great move. Adding the veteran piece. He's obviously. I'm pretty sure he's gonna start. And Pat Peterson, he's up there in age, but I'm pretty sure he's still athletic. Still got some speed on him. He's obviously really smart. He's like a 8-9 year veteran now. So that definitely.
He had like 2 pick sixes. Did he have like 2 pick sixes last year?
He might have. I'm not really I can't really remember, but he might have.
So I felt like that was a great move altogether. Patrick Peterson, he probably ended his last 2 years with the Steelers. I don't think he's got another. This is probably his last deal, right? Before he calls it quits.
Maybe. We never know though. You never know with these players nowadays, man. Honestly, never know. Some of these players are different. They love football. Some of these guys don't love football. And when you really love the game, you can't stop playing.
See, you seen it with in the AFC, it looked like the Texans was probably the team that did the most. They're trying to make sure they get themselves a playoff chance. They brought in a new coach with D'Amico Ryans, and they're trying to give themselves a real opportunity. So they signed Case Keenum, Robert Woods, Andrew Beck, Scott Quincelberry, Chase
Squat
Win. You said what?
Scott Quesenberry. Shout out San Jose State. I'm pretty
Squad
sure, yeah.
Pleasantberry.
Quesenberry with San Jose State. My bad. Go ahead, keep going. My bad.
What was I at? Chase
Chase
Winovich,
Winovich.
Hassan Redway, MJ Stewart, and Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward was a great
Yeah.
signing by the Texans. You kept saying he was going to be a Texan no matter what.
No, yeah, I knew if he wasn't gonna resign with the Niners, which it wasn't gonna be likely, I knew it would be the Texans, just because, the Texans. He's the, like I said, I can't even freaking get the word out sometimes, but the familiarity, familiarity with Jimmy Ward and the defensive coordinator D'Amico Ryans, he's automatically gonna start. He has a great relationship with D'Amico Ryans. A lot of D'Amico Ryans players that played up under him, they love D'Amico Ryans. You see Fred Warner raved about D'Amico Ryans. See what he did. Talk about what he did for his career. Same with Jimmy Ward. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Ward, probably mentioned some similar things that Fred Warner mentioned about D'Amico. So then you got MJ Stewart, another great pickup. MJ can play safety and play corner, same kind of like Jimmy Ward is, but I'm pretty sure Jimmy Ward gonna probably stick to safety. That's probably why D'Amico brought him over. Like, hey man, we're not gonna move you over like the Niners was doing. You feel me? We're gonna just leave you at safety. We're gonna bring in MJ to do that. We're going MJ Stewart. You're gonna have him at nickel safety. You feel me? Move him all around. Then Hassan Ridgeway again. The familiarity. He just picking up from the Niners. You feel me? So then you got Chase Winovich, great pickup. He's kind of reminds me. He's not as explosive, but he kind of reminds me of Clay Matthews. He got the long hair. He's hella explosive. He came out of Michigan. He was a really great player in college. He's still young. So yeah, that was a great pickup for the Texans as well. And then the pickup for Case Keenum and Robert Woods, huge pickups. I'm pretty sure they they got a second pick in the draft. Texans I'm pretty sure they're looking whoever they draft, which is most likely going to be Stroud, CJ Stroud, which is great quarterback. CJ Stroud, he's going to start, but Case Keenum is a great backup. And it's funny because Robert Woods is a great veteran receiver that you would love to have, and it would make sense because CJ Stroud is from LA, Robert Woods is from LA. That's little bro. You feel me? Little bro is CJ Stroud, Robert Woods. I'm pretty sure they know each other a little bit here and there. You feel me?
I don't know.
And in Case Keenum, my bad. Case Keenum and Robert Woods, they played with each other in LA when they played for the Rams. So that's a little familiar right there. Little chemistry.
So yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you heard the news today, but the Panthers they're saying that the Panthers is taking CJ Stroud with the first pick in the NFL draft. So I guess that's what they made.
Wow.
I don't think they're going for Bryce. So Bryce is looking like he's gonna be with the Texans. I don't know how big I don't know if the Texans are a huge fan of. You think the Texans want Bryce?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. I've been calling it. I just didn't know if I just kind of threw me off when when the Panthers traded up to go get CJ. I mean I say CJ when they traded up to go get that number one pick. But shit, I mean, if Bryce Fall, that'd be perfect. Bryce Fall to the Texans. I feel like shit. Why? I'm pretty sure D'Amico would love to have Bryce Young, and he got some insurance. So you got Case Keenum. If Bryce Young is struggling a little bit, you got Case Keenum to kind of step in there.
So what's your grade? What's your grade for the Texans overall? Free agency.
So far, I give them a B plus. I give them a B plus because they doing everything they need to do. They basically kind of rebuilding that team. Everybody knows that I'm pretty sure D'Amico gonna have about 2-3 years to really have a shot to really turn it around, and this is the start of it. So this is it makes sense. They're making all these moves. It makes sense.
I'm on that same grade. I'm giving them a B plus also. With the Indianapolis Colts, they end up getting Tyquan Lewis. They re-signed him on a 1-year deal, 2.1. Then also linebacker EJ Speed re-signed him on a 2-year, $9 million deal. I thought Colts would have been a little bit more active. I thought they were really. I feel like they're not too many pieces away from being a playoff contender again. Maybe a quarterback, maybe a couple of defensive pieces, and they should be right back in it. They had a bad year this year, of course, but they just got themselves a brand new coach. So I thought they would have been a little bit more active today, but it's still early. Maybe tomorrow to be a little bit more in the news.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's still early. I ain't really too familiar with Taekwon Lewis and EJ Speed. I know they both played for the Colts. So obviously the Colts really like these players. And yeah, they're gonna just try to continue to just, try to build their chemistry, build their team.
and then you see, so Jacksonville Jaguars, they resigned CJ Beathard. He's a great backup to me, so it was great that they kept him
Ah,
around. Two,
CJ, that's the name you know. Yeah.
I'm real familiar with CJ. So they gave him a $4.52 million two-year $4.5 million contract. The deal also includes up to $1 million in annual incentives for a max value of $6.5 million per Tom Pelissero. They also resigned they received the franchise tag on Evan Ingram. I don't know why I don't know what was the franchise tag. What was the money for the tight end this year? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Probably was around like maybe 15, 13, maybe 15 million, somewhere around there, maybe.
I don't know. It was Evan. Anyways, then they also Roy
Evan
Robinson
Ingram,
Williams signed a 3-year,
Evan
thirty
Ingram, had,
million extension.
Evan Ingram had a pretty good year last year. He definitely had some spurts of explosion. I would take Evan Ingram as Dallas Goddard and Evan Ingram. I would take him,
I would take
but
Evan Ingram too, but that's why I was asking the franchise money because I'm like, damn, would you be able to get him cheaper off? I feel like if he has a great year this year, you have to pay him even more. So it might have been cheaper just to pay him this year.
yeah, that's true. That's very
Especially
true.
especially when you got your quarterback getting even better, you got your offense getting even better. I feel like Trevor
But
Lawrence might come out slaying it this year.
yeah, but you never know. They probably just franchise a lot of times too. Some teams just franchise tag players to kind of like work out a deal, trying to like buy a little more time.
Right. We'll see how that go. We'll see how that go. Then I'm not sure how that's gonna play out. And then Tennessee Titans. So they're basically, we just said it. They're basically on a rebuild, restructuring everything, letting players go. Derrick Henry's about to be on the move in a couple of weeks, couple of days. Offensive tackle Andre Dillard. They agreed on a 3-year, $29 million contract, and then they also on the safety signed a 1-year extension, Morgan Cox. So
No,
I'm
yeah.
not
So
really
that's
expecting anything from Tennessee, but what were you gonna say?
yeah. I wasn't really expecting too much either, but this makes sense for Tennessee because they did release Taylor Lewan, left tackle. So Andre Dillard, it's funny because coming out of college, he was a first rounder. Obviously, I know about Andre Dillard. He was the first rounder for the Philadelphia Eagles. He never really panned out just because Jordan Mailata, the legend of Jordan Mailata, he just came out of nowhere. Jordan Mailata just took his spot, took the league by storm, became this rugby legend that panned out in the NFL. So therefore, Andre Dillard never got a shot. He never got a shot. He was always the backup. Then he got hurt a few times in the offseason, whether it's preseason or maybe even in a training camp. But now it seems like he's about to get a shot finally. He looks like he may get his shot. He might get his opportunity to compete for a starting spot. So this was a key for Tennessee just to shore up that left tackle spot.
And so in the AFC West, I honestly wasn't expecting the Raiders to just let Jarrett Stidham walk, especially after they gave him like 2 games at the end of the last year, and he played a fairly good game against the Niners, almost ended up beating them, and that's the best defense in the NFL last year. So they ended up letting Jarrett Stidham walk, and he stays inside the division, signing with the Denver Broncos, signing a 2-year, $10 million contract that includes $5 million guaranteed. So what was your take on that, Lamar?
Oh my bad, I thought you were about to go down the line. But
Oh,
now, for Stidham, that makes sense. I mean, I can say it makes sense, but I mean, I feel like like what you said, you were surprised the Raiders let him go. I wasn't surprised just because McDaniel's, I feel like they kind of had a plan. McDaniel's they knew that they were going to go after. I feel like they kind of knew they were going to go after Jimmy G. So McDaniel's like, fuck it, I'm gonna Stidham can walk, and I'm gonna go get another guy that knows my system, or that's gonna be comfortable with my system. So yeah, this makes sense though, and maybe Stidham was thinking, maybe I can just sign with Denver, stay, go. I'm
I,
gonna play against McDaniel's a few times a year.
I feel like he would have stayed with the Raiders though. Like Jimmy G, he tends to miss a lot of games. So if he was able to, Jimmy G might get hurt this year, and Stidham would have been right back in the helm again. So I didn't get why he didn't
Sure.
resign. And Russell Wilson, he stays pretty healthy, so it's pretty rare if Russell Wilson misses a game. I thought he would have probably wanted to stay and continue to learn
Yeah.
under Josh McDaniel's system. And then
Mhm.
they signed tight end Chris
But
Manhurts.
also too. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. I was gonna say my bad. I just kind of thought about it. Maybe Stidham want to play in the, sometimes, especially for quarterbacks, it's all about system fit. Maybe he want to play with Sean Payton's system. You never know. Sean Payton like to throw the ball a lot, so maybe Stidham want to sling that motherfucking rock. Oh, you on mute, or I can't hear you.
Hear me?
There you go.
My bad. My dog was in here tripping on me right now. Then you also, so they end up signing tight end Chris Manhertz, offensive guard Ben Powers, and then they also signed Mike McGlinchey. I wasn't a big, the Niners ended up losing him, and I didn't think he was still going to be worth a lot of money because he ended up coming off the quad injury. Then last year he played he didn't play too great, but they gave him a 5-year, $87.5 million deal that includes $50 million guaranteed. So maybe he has a little bit more help than Russell Wilson previously did. But I felt like Mike McGlinchey, he's a great run blocker, but on the pass game, which Russell Wilson likes to do, I don't know if that was a great move, but I guess they upgraded at tackle. What do you think about it?
No, yeah, for Denver, I definitely feel like this is something they maybe had to do. I don't know if they should have paid him all this money, but I feel like if you look at these pickups so far for Denver, you see what they're doing. You see that they're obviously trying to protect Russell Wilson. They signed a tackle. They signed a guard. I'm pretty sure they're going to draft it. At some point they're going to draft another lineman in the draft early. So they have the receivers. So that's what I'm saying. All they got to do is shore up. They just got to shore up the offensive line. They got to protect Russell Wilson. And then they're also, they're trying to build a team like we talked about earlier, like having a good backup. Like if Russell does go down, knock on wood, he doesn't. But if he does go down, you still have Jarrett Stidham, who's a solid backup who played really well down the stretch last season, and who showed he can really throw the ball accurately. So shit, I would take Stidham as a backup. Shit. I mean, not specifically on the Eagles, but I'd take him as a backup. I can't hear you.
Zach Allen, isn't Zach Allen a defensive tackle that was on the Cardinals?
I believe so. Yeah, Zach Allen.
The one that always looked like that, right?
Yep.
Hell yeah. I couldn't stand that motherfucker on the Niners. Every time he played against the Niners, man, he doing that weak ass dance. That shit used to piss me off. So I'm happy that he's out the division. Zach Allen, he signed a 3-year deal. Damn, $47.5 million contract that includes $32.5 guaranteed.
Hey, shit. If he was able to get sacks on the Niners, shit, it makes sense.
I didn't realize he was making that much. So that's a good deal from him.
And you probably gotta look at his stats. He probably makes sense though. He probably had a pretty good year. If he had like a 5-6 sack season, he deserve it.
Right. It doesn't take that, especially if you get right. It don't take that many sacks to get you paid in the NFL. You just gotta be consistent.
Especially as a D tackle, especially when you stuffing the run.
Right. And then, so you had the offensive tackle Jawan Taylor signing a 4-year, $80 million deal that includes $60 million guaranteed. Great pickup by the Chiefs. They got themselves
an all right. Tackle. This is a great pickup by the Chiefs, but bro, how the fuck are the Chiefs getting all this money? Kansas City is not a rich city like that. For one, for two, bro, they gave Pat Mahomes half a damn check. Like he gave Pat Mahomes like yeah. So what money do they have? They cheated, bro.
And they
cheated, bro. If we find out years from now they cheated, bro, I'm gonna be mad. Cause the Eagles should have that ball, bro.
Oh, you think they have some money schemes going in, some undercover mafia type
shit? They got some crazy shit going on over there in Kansas City. Money some laundering. Freak shit. they freaky over there. There's some freak shit going on.
Hey,
Pat Mahomes is a freak. You see his brother is a freak. Grabbing females by the neck and tonguing it up. Yeah, I prove me wrong.
Hey, I don't know what the fuck they got going on in Kansas City, but I'm gonna stay away from it.
They freaking. But it's a great pickup though. Shout out Kansas City. It's a great pickup. They obviously trying to protect Mahomes. I feel like they line. I mean, shit. When they played us in Super Bowl, they line like freaking Hall of Fame status. So, shit. This just makes their line even better. So, we see y'all again though. Don't even trip. Kansas City.
Yeah, they gonna spank y'all once again. Y'all got to get past the Niners this year. We just took y'all.
And
We're gonna get
man,
to it.
the crazy part is they never even spanked us. We gonna spank their ass. We gonna spank their ass. Watch. And we
So,
gonna go get McCall Hartman on their ass. Watch. I tell you, Philly, go get McCall.
so how
Speedster
about
shit.
what about the loss? What about the Las Vegas Raiders? So they signed Jimmy Garoppolo on a 3-year, $72.5 million deal that includes 24.25 million in 1 year, and I think he had like I want to say it was like 30 some
Great
mil.
pickup, Raiders. Great pickup. I was just playing. Now this
Hey,
is a
the
great pickup though. I don't know why everybody be hating on Jimmy, man. Like, I feel like a lot of people obviously that's hating on Jimmy are teams that Jimmy played on because obviously like man you fucked us over. But when I look at the overall spectrum of Jimmy, like you sat behind a GOAT and Tom Brady when Brady went down, or when Jimmy had his opportunity to play in New England, he played pretty well under McDaniels as offensive coordinator. And then when Jimmy went to the 49ers, they went like 4-5-0 if I'm not mistaken. Played pretty good until he like tore the ACL whatnot. Jimmy played pretty good. He obviously showed, sometimes turn the ball over and make some, bonehead plays sometimes. But, sometimes quarterbacks do take risks. But now he's a veteran. I mean, like he's been a veteran quarterback. I feel like obviously he knows the system now with Josh McDaniels. Um, yeah, and he's like in year 8 now. Like time flying for that boy, man. But I feel like now I feel like he's maturing now. He's maturing now. I feel like he's learning, and obviously he learned from his mistakes, and I feel like he's gonna be a way better quarterback with the Raiders.
Yeah, and I want to take a little bit of a deeper dive on this. So with Jimmy Garoppolo, this is my question to you. So, like I said, he's coming from a team that I'm real accustomed to. I'm a Niner fan. I got to see Jimmy Garoppolo each and every single week. So, like you said, a lot of the people that are giving him a little bit hate are most likely Niner fans, but we also give him a lot of appreciation. But when I look at the Raiders, I'm starting to think like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all let Derek Carr go and y'all end up signing Jimmy Garoppolo. To me, that's a downgrade. If you're not getting Aaron Rodgers, if you're not getting a top guy in the draft, there's no reason you should have been moving on from Derek Carr this early and this soon. So now you stuck with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I feel like he downgrade the team to you?
I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't say downgrade just because like he's in a perfect position to succeed. Like if he don't succeed, that's on him. This is really on him. He's back with his coach, Josh McDaniels, the guy that one of the guys that most likely had a say so in drafting him. And now that I look at his money, he's for sure going to start. He's going to start 72 million. You're not going to pay it back at 72 million. He's going to start, especially 3 years. He's going to start. He's going to get his chance to start. He's going to have every opportunity to start. The Raiders, I'm pretty sure they will draft a quarterback. Obviously, they might not draft a quarterback in the first round. They might draft a receiver now. They might go out and get Quentin Johnston or Jackson Smith and Jigba to pair up with Devontae Adams, give Garoppolo some weapons. You feel me? So now, like I feel like this is a great pickup for them, just because they, like I said earlier, they got a quarterback now. Now they can build. So like I said, now they can go in the draft, knowing they can go get a run. They just resigned Amir Abdullah. They just got a running back. They franchise tag Josh Jacobs. So they got their running game. They got their running game. Now they can go out and get a receiver, like we've been saying. Hopefully they get a speedster, low key. Hopefully they get a speedster. A lot of these receivers, though, they are pretty fast. So Smith and Jigba, he got some speed. Quentin Johnston, the receiver from TCU, he's 6'4". He's running 4.3. Maybe they can go get him. Feel me? So.
Well, remember Josh Jacobs not playing under that franchise tag. He already let that be known. So we're gonna see. I don't know if he's gonna have that running game support that he thinks he's gonna have coming in with the Raiders. I feel like Josh Jacobs gonna he's gonna force that trade out of there. Or force that money to
don't
be paid.
Don't sleep on Zamir White, Georgia Bulldog, national champion.
And when I look at Jimmy Garoppolo and Derek Carr, so when you go, let's go off run game, off the speed, mobility. I would take Derek Carr over Jimmy, right? When it comes to mobility.
Yeah.
All right. Arm strength.
I would take no, you ain't got like. I'll take Derek Carr. I'll take Derek Carr. No, for real. Honestly, I'll take Derek Carr over Garoppolo. But I'm just saying for the Raiders. Like obviously, Derek Carr he's a lost cause now. He's not coming back. So now you gotta look forward. And when you look forward, and what makes the most sense is Jimmy Garoppolo signing with the Raiders. He's Josh McDaniels. Like Josh McDaniels obviously knows something that we don't know. You feel me? So
or he knows exactly or he doesn't know what we know.
Yeah. But or he just maybe dropping down. A lot of these coaches have egos too, so he probably got an ego. Like, man, I can turn Jimmy into like who knows? We probably like in New England, he probably was like really had faith in Jimmy. He probably was mad that they traded him away.
Right,
So
right,
you
right.
never know. You never know. But also too, don't sleep on that Marcus Epps safety signing by the Raiders. That was a great signing. He played for the Eagles. He played pretty well for us. I would say. I thought we was gonna resign him, but hey, maybe he's gonna go over there and ball out.
So yeah, he signed a 2-year deal worth $12 million that includes nearly $8 million guaranteed. So
Yeah, that's probably some money we didn't have for him. Yeah,
and then Los
I don't think
Angeles,
we would have paid him.
Los
My bad, go
Angeles,
ahead.
Los Angeles Chargers, they got Easton Stick on. They resigned him on a $1.8 million deal. Then this was a great pickup by them to me. I feel like this is gonna help their defense tremendously. Eric Kendrick signing with the Chargers after the Vikings just released him a couple of days ago. What was your
I'm
take on
mad.
Kendrick Kendricks? I feel like that was a great pickup by them. Yeah, and I feel like Eagles will
No,
probably be
yeah.
in the mix with that also.
Oh, most definitely. That's why I'm mad. But anyway, Chargers. Now the Chargers, that was a great pickup by them. Another linebacker to add to that defense. The defense is already solid, but another linebacker to shore up the defense. But I'm just mad because, like I said, the Eagles. I feel like obviously we need linebackers, and I feel like Eric Hendricks would have been a great linebacker, especially in pass coverage. I feel like that's what he's really good at in pass coverage. Not only can he tackle really well, he can drop back in coverage and read quarterbacks' eyes or read tight ends and get them interceptions.
And I didn't feel like the Chargers really needed them. Did you? Did you? I didn't feel like it was a need for them. Like I felt like it was a great addition, but I didn't feel like they needed a linebacker. I feel like they would have probably needed get some more offensive help. Maybe some more weapons on the wide receiver core. I don't know because it seems like they're not when the playoffs when it starts to get towards the end of the season. That's what I feel like they're missing the most is that
Yeah.
extra boost on the offensive side. But Eric Kendricks, that was still a good pickup. And then we
No,
see
yeah. I was
so we see Tony Pollard. He of course got franchise tag. I don't know what that means for Ezekiel Elliott. I don't know if that means he's on the go or that means he's gonna stay. What do you think is gonna happen with Zeke?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that the Dallas situation is tricky. Just because Tony Pollard not gonna be ready for the season. He's most likely gonna miss like the first 3 or 4 games. He got hurt so late in the season. He might miss more games than that. But they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. They might sign a running back. They might keep Zeke. I'm not sure. But I low-key think Zeke is done in Dallas though.
I kind of do too. I feel like they're kind of just prolonging it now. It's probably just time to get rid of him. Start the next chapter. And same thing with Dak Prescott. It's starting to run loose. Starting to probably got like another 2 years left in him. But with the New York Giants, Daniel Jones, of course, the 4 years, 160 mil. Of course, they got franchise tag Saquon Barkley. Sterling Shepard agreed to a 1 year, $1.3 million deal. Then you also had Raheem Nunez Roches agreed the terms on the contract with the Giants. Linebacker Jared Davis resigned with the Giants. So basically, how do you say Bobby Okereke?
Bobby Okereke.
Okereke agreed to terms to a 4 year, $40 million contract. And then James
Damn.
Aaron. Why do you say damn today? You feel like he wasn't worth it?
Damn.
That's $10
Like
million.
he got paid.
That's $10 million.
Not that shit. He must have been pretty good, and not even just 10 million a year, but for them to sign him for 4 years, that must mean that they really like him in their locker room.
Right, and I'm not really too familiar with the whole Giants roster. I know the main guys, but they had a couple of sleepers that nobody really knows about that could really ball out. But
Yeah.
with the Philadelphia Eagles, they had to return a Jason Kelce. He agreed to terms to 1 year deal. I thought it was probably over for him, but I guess the Super Bowl run, I feel like he wants one more chance to run it back and get himself one more ring.
No, yeah, he want one more shot to go play the Niners.
Yeah, Jason Kelce, though, I feel like that's big for Jalen Hurts, especially in his growth. This is what going into his 4th year. So I feel like this is the last. I feel like this is probably like the last year that he's going to really need just Jason Kelce. And then after that, he's going to be able to pretty much run the offensive shit by himself. But I feel like it's going to be big for Jalen Hurts. And then you got Brandon Graham. He resigned on a 1 year deal worth up to $6 million per Tom Pelissero. That was how'd you like bringing Brandon Graham? You guys end up losing.
No, it's just huge. It's just huge. Just bringing another, keeping Brandon Graham, keeping that veteran presence in there. Especially, obviously we still got a lot of young guys. But just another voice in the locker room, kind of like a coach, in a sense. Like, obviously he's not a coach, but He's an older player whose voice matters. So and he's won Super Bowl. That ring matters. You feel me?
Right,
So
right, right.
yeah, this is a great signing for the Eagles though. Great signing.
And then Washington Commanders, the offensive tackle Andrew Willie, he signed on a 3-year, $24 million contract. How good is Andrew Willie? I'm not too familiar.
I'm not too familiar with Andrew Wiley either, but I think he played for the Chiefs last season. He might have obviously like shit. They won a Super Bowl. He played under Mahomes. He blocked for Mahomes. He played really good.
I feel like
So
the line was ass though for the Chiefs.
it was decent. It was decent. But
Shit.
obviously, we see the Commanders. The Commanders, they're just trying to shore up that offensive line though. Whoever their quarterback is, they just trying to protect them.
Right, and then we already know about the Chicago Bears. They acquired or they traded the number 1 pick. Of course, they got DJ Moore, and then they got a whole bunch of draft picks in return. Detroit Lions, they got Ryan. They re-signed Craig Reynolds to a deal. They also resigned Isaiah Buggs. I don't think they did any new signings. Okay. Cameron Sutton, they signed him for 3 years, $33 million. That includes $21.5 million guaranteed.
Hey, don't sleep on them. The Chicago Bears signing though. They just signed Tremaine Edwards at middle linebacker. That replaces.
Oh, they did. I didn't even see that pick. I didn't even see they did. When they do that?
That shit a few hours ago, I believe, or like a little earlier today. But that replaces
I don't know how the fuck I missed that. So Tremaine Edmonds, they signed him on a 4-year deal, $72 million, and they gave him $50 million guaranteed. Damn.
Mm-hmm. No, he was definitely balling. He was definitely one of the better middle linebackers in the NFL over the past 2-3 years. But also too, this just shores up that middle for them because they lost Roquan Smith to the Ravens. So now Tremaine replaces Roquan Smith now, and then you got TJ Edwards to kind of. I'm pretty sure they might defense they might run a 3-4. So now they got 2 middle linebackers in the middle. You got Tremaine Edwards, you got TJ, then you got Tremaine Edmonds, and you got TJ Edwards in the middle. So
we saying Chicago Bears playoffs 2023.
You might. I mean, Green Bay ain't looking too nice right now, and then Detroit, they might be competing, and the Vikings, shit, you never know with Kirk, so you never know.
So, if let's say Jordan Love leads the Packers into the 2023 season, could we say who do you see winning that division, the Packers or the Bears?
Who I can see winning that division, I can see
Jordan Love
right now.
Quarterback.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Right now, I would say the Lions.
Oh yeah. Over both?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not even mad at that.
Bro, the Lions,
yeah.
They got a great coach. They defense is solid. They got Aiden Hutchinson at defensive end. They obviously gonna build on their talent that they had in this offseason. They got, they got I ain't gonna say a decent offensive line. They got a great offensive line. They obviously built their offensive line over the past couple of years. Jared Goff, veteran quarterback, has been to the Super Bowl, didn't win it, but he's been there. Right. He has a pretty good arm. They got a great running game, and they got receivers. They got Amon-Ra. They got Jameson Williams coming off that crazy injury in college, but he was the number 1 receiver if he didn't get injured. So they got something to look forward to.
So let's talk about the.
But my bad. I'm sorry to answer your question. I got the Bears or the Lions are competing for that. I got Green Bay. Shit, they might fuck around and get the number 1 overall pick next season.
Damn, man.
I'm tough on.
That's hella funny because I'm gonna come back and we're gonna see watch Packers gonna end up winning the division next year. But let's go. So Minnesota Vikings, they end up signing Josh Oliver to a 3-year, $21 million deal. So I thought they had Rudolph. Did they let Rudolph go? I thought they still had Rudolph. Am I tripping?
Nah, Rudolph been gone. He been gone for the past 2 years. I think Rudolph.
You're right.
He might have retired. He might have retired. I ain't really heard from him. I know he's on the Giants though.
I'm pretty sure he's still in the league, bro. I swear I heard him last year. But
Kyle Rudolph.
Right. You're right though. He's not with the Vikings no more. So
Kyle Rudolph is a Notre Dame legend.
So you were watching him back in college a lot?
Hell yeah, he was nice. First rounder.
Damn. So you be watching all them tight ends and shit, or the smaller
players.
Watching
everybody.
Atlanta. Everybody. Atlanta Falcons offensive guard. They resigned their guard Chris Lindstorm. Tight end Jonnu Smith. They acquired him in the trade earlier today. I like that pick. To be honest, I don't know why do you think the Patriots traded him?
They traded them because they weren't even using them. I noticed that, bro. Like when they first signed, so it's funny. So the Patriots signed Jonnu Smith and they signed Hunter Henry, both on the same day in free agency, like 2 years ago or last season. And they wasn't really using Jonnu Smith. I don't know if he was hurt or what, but and then when they used him, they wasn't really using him to his abilities. Like when he was with Tennessee, he was going crazy. So I feel like with Atlanta, he kind of does remind you a lot of Kyle Pitts. They very similar, very athletic. They might be like the same height and same size. So for you to have both of these tight ends, that's gonna be crazy. Because now you got Jonnu Smith who's able to start at tight end, and then you got Kyle Pitts who can play receiver or tight end and be a mismatch. So whoever the quarterback is in Atlanta would hopefully be Lamar Jackson. This could be nice.
you think Lamar Jackson gonna take ATL?
That'd be cool. I mean, I ain't gonna say I think that'd be cool though. I don't know what they waiting for. They ain't really got no quarterback. They got right now. They got a backup guy. They got Desmond Ritter. They got a guy who he might start, but I'd rather have Lamar than Desmond. No offense to Desmond, but that'd be like another Michael Vick experience. You bring Lamar Jackson to Atlanta.
And then you say you weren't a big fan of this, right? With the safety signing, they signed Jesse Bates to a 4-year, $64 million contract that includes 23 in 1 year. You weren't. Well, I remember you said you wasn't a big fan of this, right?
No. I mean, it's not that I'm not a big fan. I just didn't think Jesse Bates. I mean, not to say he's not worth it. Not to say he's not worth 64 million. That's just a lot of money for him, in my opinion. I feel like there's better safeties that they could have gotten, like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson probably could have got some money like this. But this is good for them though. Like, they needed a safety and they got one. And Jesse Bates is, stat wise and watching his highlights and all that. He's definitely one of the top 5, top 10 safeties in the league. So
right.
anytime you're top 5, top 10 safety, you definitely a need for our team.
So with the Carolina Panthers, they ended up signing Von Bell. They signed him with oh no, they didn't even release the money, but they signed Von Bell, Sean Tuttle, and then Bradley Bozeman. I guess I don't know. What do you think the Panthers gonna do this year?
I don't know. Probably tank Caleb.
You said tank for Caleb, but I thought they got the number 1 pick. Remember, they getting fucking.
Don't mean they gonna get get CJ. Imagine.
They getting
nah. Nah, yeah. I don't know who they're gonna get. I don't know if they can get. I know they're gonna get a quarterback. Obviously, I don't know if they're gonna get Stroud or if they're gonna get Bryce. But no, you're right. They're gonna get a quarterback. I mean, I see them just probably trying to rebuild. They're gonna get they have a good defense. Von Bell is a good safety, so he can be paired up with I forgot the other safety name, but he can be paired up with their secondary. They secondary looking good on paper. So yeah, it just depends on who their quarterback is though, and their receivers.
And we already know about the New Orleans Saints. We already know about how they just signed Derek Carr a couple of days ago for the 4-year, $150 million contract. But earlier today, they also ended up signing Jameis Winston. They signed him on a 1-year deal for $8 million. And I wasn't really expecting Jameis Winston because, like I told you earlier, I thought he would have liked to take his talents to go with the Texans, maybe give himself a real opportunity to start, maybe even go sign with the Raiders. Play the backup with Jimmy Garoppolo. But he ended up staying with the New Orleans Saints. What was your take on that?
I just thought maybe it wasn't nothing crazy for me. Like it wasn't nothing crazy for me to think that why is he signing back? Just because he probably likes New Orleans, he probably is comfortable there. He probably is comfortable with the coaching staff. And he probably kind of knows that right now he's deserving of a backup spot. So I feel like until he proves he can start, then it's time. He can be a starter. He's still young. I mean, he's not young, but he's still decently young. Jameis Winston is my age. Jameis Winston about 28. I think he probably turned 29 already. But you gotta think Derek Carr is 34, 33 years old. So these players be getting older, man, and players they don't get the opportunity.
Yeah, Derek Carr look like 31, I think, bro. 31, 30, maybe 32 at the oldest. I don't think he's in his 33s yet. Could be wrong though. And then Arizona Cardinals, they didn't do shit today. Absolutely nothing. Not one damn move. I would have thought they would have been in the mix too. But they did less than any other team. Los Angeles Rams, they end up getting Hunter Long. They acquired him in a trade with the Miami Dolphins, along with a 2023 third round pick and a number 77 in exchange. Oh, that was for Jalen Ramsey. And they got that. That was a bag of chips. They could have got a little bit more for Jalen, I think. But he's also been declining over the years, so maybe that's it. The San Francisco 49ers, they end up signing Sam Darnold. That was a great pick. Javon Hargrave, another great pick, the best defensive tackle in the NFL. He leaves the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, Lamar's team. He was big on Hargrave, weren't you, Lamar? They end up leaving the Eagles, going to sign with the San Francisco 49ers. What was your take on these two acquisitions by the Niners? They also got Kevin Givens. He resigned. Tashawn Gibson, he resigned. That's a great pick. And then Taylor Pepper, long snapper.
All right, so my take, was a sad day for Eagle Nation. Our Javon Hargrave, he left the Eagles. It wasn't too crazy though. It ain't like he started his career with us. He was with the Steelers at first, then he went to the Eagles. He had a really great 2 years, especially last season. He had a breakout season. That's why he got paid so damn much. But yeah, shout out to Javon Hargrave though. Obviously he signed with the Niners because the Niners are the next team up. If it's not the Eagles, the Niners in the NFC. They they have the kind of like similar style defense. And obviously Javon Hargrave, he's like 30 years old. He obviously, time is ticking. He wants to win the Super Bowl. He wants to get back to the playoffs and compete at a high level. So he knows with the Niners that he can do that. He knows the Niners has a shot, every year going to the playoffs, especially with that defense. So yeah. And Sam Darnold, obviously the Niners bad luck they had last year. They low key shit. It's just, I don't know, this signing was a little comedic just because it's like Sam Darnold. I know he can be somewhat of a starter in this league, if not like a really good backup. But right now you got him basically as a quarterback 3. You got Trey Lance as quarterback 1. He's kind of coming off the injury. Then you got Brock Purdy, who just had surgery, but he's going to be ready to go by training camp. And in my opinion, that's quarterback 2. He's still undefeated as a starter. Like that's insane. You got a backup quarterback. Yeah, you got a backup quarterback who's undefeated. And then yeah, and then you got Sam Darnold as QB3. So yeah, I just feel like the Niners are pretty traumatized after last season, losing 3 quarterbacks, 4 quarterbacks.
So I want you to give my take. First, I want you to give me off the Niners perspective, and I want you to give me basically the Eagles perspective of losing as of losing Javon. So in the Niners perspective, how much do you feel like that helps the Niners defense getting a guy like Javon?
Oh, most definitely, it helps them a lot just because you got Nick Bosa, then you got Armstead, and then you got Armstead's a tweener, so Armstead can play inside or outside. But then you got Javon, who can play all 3 downs, who can play in the middle, who can stick them right in the nose, or you like play in D tackle. And then you got Eric Armstead, and you can put I don't know who y'all other defensive end is. Who was it? Mini who or
yeah, I think it's pretty much empty right now because they haven't signed anybody, but they'll probably get it figured out.
No, but yeah, but that's this gonna help the defense a lot though, for sure, especially the D line. Yeah, gonna help y'all a lot. Only thing is, players do get, he is older. A lot of our players is getting older. Like we've seen Bosa go down a few times. The only thing is the key that I feel like a lot of teams could take out of the Eagles' book. You guys got to really. It's one thing to have starters on the D line and have elite starters, but a lot of those starters get hurt. A lot of our starters get tired. So it's up to y'all to have elite backups as well. And for the Eagles, we had elite backup. So just let's keep that in mind. I'm saying.
And so, how do you feel like this affects the Eagles' defensive line? Because they just lost their best defensive tackle. They just lost the best defensive tackle in the league, or one of the best in the league. So, how do you feel like this is going to affect them and their defensive line and their run to try to make a run back to the playoffs and back to the Super Bowl?
No, yeah, I feel like it don't really. Obviously, we gonna miss Javon Hargrave. He was a big contributor to our sack, our hit, our record breaking sack season. But we couldn't pay him the money he was asking for. We definitely couldn't pay this dude $84 million. We definitely couldn't do that. So shout out to Javon Hargrave. He had a great career with the Eagles. But we went first round last year. We got the deep tackle out of Georgia, Jordan Davis. So he's obviously going to replace Javon Hargrave. Jordan Davis is a fucking monster. For all you people that don't know about Jordan Davis, go look up his highlights. Go look at his combine performance.
You guys draft him? You said draft
I think
what
12th
round?
overall, top first round.
First round, 12th pick. And did he play this year?
Somewhat. He didn't really play because shit, Jordan Davis and all. I mean, and Javon Hargrave and Fletcher Coxton was putting on. They was doing their thing. But that basically like a redshirt season for him. Now, we got Jordan Davis to kind of, he learned under Fletcher Cox. He's been learning under Javon Hargrave. So now we got a guy that's even bigger and stronger and younger who can hopefully, be even better than Javon.
Okay, and then lastly with the Seattle Seahawks, they of course we already know they re-signed Geno Smith on a 3-year, $75 million contract. That was a great pickup just because we don't know what they're gonna do at quarterback. So Geno Smith, he's good for at least the next 2 years. And then they also signed D lineman Draymond Jones to a 3-year, $51 million contract.
Draymond Green.
How'd you like Draymond Jones?
I'm not too familiar. I mean, I know who he is. I know he went to Ohio State. I know he played for the Broncos last year, but I wasn't too familiar with his sack total last year. I don't know if he must have had a pretty good season if he got paid 51. Yeah, if he got paid $51 million. So, it probably was just obviously the Seattle D line was strong a few years ago. They've been declining. Now it's time for them to get back to that D line, just dominating.
So this
How many
last
sacks he had?
So in 2022, he had 13 games played. He had 6.5 sacks. Yeah, 6.5 sacks.
Wow.
19.
Damn, I don't know.
That's a lot of money.
Damn.
I feel like.
Yeah, for 6 sacks. Damn.
And only 13 games played.
How many sacks he had a year before?
Same. He had 5.5, and then before that he had 6.5. So the same as he got last year. And then his rookie season he had 3.5.
Oh, okay. So he probably just been. I mean, that's consistent though. I mean, I'll take that. I probably wouldn't have paid him what I paid him, but I mean, I would sign him. He's been one of the more consistent defensive ends in the league. And how many games has he been playing over the past couple of years? 13. What was he been playing?
Rookie season 14, and then 13, and then 16, and then 13 last year.
Yeah, so he's been pretty healthy, and he's been, contributing quite a bit. That's solid. He's basically averaging a half a sack a game. That's solid. I could do that.
He's missing about 2 games a year, 2 or 3 games a year.
Niggas that's missing 4 to 5 games a year.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of defensive linemen don't usually miss games like that. If you think about it,
well, shit happens, but people miss games all the time. No matter what position you're in.
Yeah, that's true.
Fletcher Cox missed games. You got Nick Bosa misses maybe a game or 2. People miss games different reasons.
Yeah,
suspensions.
Yeah, shit happens. But y'all letting me know what was your favorite move in today's free agency? What did y'all get? What were your grades? Who got the highest grade to y'all? What was your favorite move today? What do you feel like helped the most?
My favorite move so far, if I have to pinpoint one, would probably be the Derek Carr move.
Feel like Derek Carr?
So far, out of every move that has happened so far, I would say Derek Carr, just because Derek Carr, I feel like he definitely was deserving of still being a starter. He got paid that way. He's in a great organization. I was watching his press conference. He looked happy. He looked happy that he's with the Saints. He was talking about how he looked down at his jacket and he see a Saints logo and how it's so surreal that he's not even playing with the Raiders anymore. But he knows he's in a great place, especially when he talked to the DA Dennis Allen. He's familiar with Dennis Allen. He the owner, the lady, I forgot her name, but last name Benson. He said they just motivated him though. He said when he met with them, they had dinner, and he said they just after talks that he just really wanted to win a Super Bowl for these people. So he said So I feel like this is a great pickup for New Orleans though. And now New Orleans can now that they got their quarterback, now they can start building around them. Now they can go get another receiver other than Mike Thomas, and now they can get some tight ends because Derek Carr likes to throw to tight ends a lot. So now they can go get some tight ends and build that defense.
He says he wants to win the Super Bowl for everybody, though. I love to see Derek Carr win.
Yeah, of course, of course. That's the goal for any quarterback, though. If you're gonna start, shit, you want to bowl. You don't play this game. You don't play this game for nothing else. You play this game to win Super Bowls. You don't play this game for to win. To win, you play this game. I ain't gonna lie. You play this game to get second contracts and win Super Bowls.
Right. I think that was probably my favorite move of the day also, but I feel like the Texans, just all the moves that they did as one was pretty good too. I like what the Niners did. They sign on a defensive tackle was a great move just because they didn't have anybody in the inside that could consistently clog up the lanes. Javon Kinlaw was a bust. We'll see how he goes. Eric Armstead he's good, but you just like a little bit of more consistent pressure. So hopefully that they get it with signing Javon. But y'all let it be known. We out. We gone. Let it be known who's your favorite move today.
Gone. Shout out Tate.
Hey, and I didn't give y'all COVID if y'all get sick tomorrow.